Well, there is now.
Join me, and together we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
Welcome to Rogue One Radio. This is episode 13. I am your host, Steve Long, and I'm joined once again by my son, Joey.
Hello.
So we are going to have some Star Wars talk today. Before I begin, however, I wanted to just make a statement about something I think is important. I wanted to make it very clear that Rogue One Radio does not condone racism of any kind. This world is too small for hate. The Star Wars fandom, while rather large, is itself still too small for hate. We stand in support of racial equality and believe that basing your feelings on a person or basing your feelings about a person on the color of their skin is aberrant and counterproductive to a well-functioning society. So just wanted to make sure we get that out there and let you know where we stand. So we have got a good show for you. We're going to be doing kind of a sequel to last week's show where we talked about, we talked about the game Outer Rim, but the kind of the basis for Outer Rim is Scum and Villainy. So today we are going to be doing, like I said, kind of a sequel of sorts. We're going to be doing kind of a review, if you want to call it that, of a book called Scum and Villainy. But before we jump into that, and before we get into any of the Star Wars news that we had to speak on, I wanted to go ahead and play our first song of the day. This one is by a band from here in the Oklahoma City area called Pulpit Red. The song comes from an album of theirs that came out in 2008 called Angels and Winos. I've been listening to this band for a really long time. I'm pretty sure that the band is no longer together, which is disappointing, but they're still good all the same. And this song is called Microcosm.
My microcosm. My microcosm. Microcosm. Living in a test tube, big brains watching me, riding on the clipboard, words that I can't read. Then I wake up in a greenhouse, vines attached to me. On the other end, they're pumping life into an organic TV. My microcosm. My microcosm. My microcosm. My microcosm. Wake up behind the wheel of my S15. My brain is short of oxygen, the periphery of a dream. I'm cruising past the speed of light. Outer space is my new scene, or a show that I saw on TV that continued beyond the screen. My microcosm. My microcosm. My microcosm. My microcosm.
City in a jar. How I wonder where you are. Are you among the distant stars? My city in a jar.
My microcosm. My microcosm. My microcosm. My microcosm.
All right, that was Microcosm by Pulpit Red. You are listening to Rogue One Radio. This is a show where me and going forward, we're going to have Joey on with us, talking about Star Wars, news, and pretty much anything else that we come up with that we decide to talk about. And then, of course, every week we'll have our top 5 lists that we do.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, so we're going to start off with some news that came out of the galaxy far, far away. So let's go to the Holocron. Or wait a minute. Is it Holocron or HoloNet? I don't think we decided what we're going to call our news segment.
Yeah, you never discussed this with me.
Oh, okay. That might be why I didn't come up with a name.
HoloNet sounds better.
HoloNet's probably better.
I don't know.
Yeah, HoloNet probably makes sense. Okay, so...
Prepared.
Prepared. Yes, we are. Okay, so the first piece of news that came out was that there is a Galaxy's Edge VR experience coming.
Isn't that...
So basically, the Galaxy's Edge is, of course,
park.
the theme park. So they have Lucasfilm has teamed up with Oculus to do a virtual reality experience that kind of puts you in the park, and I think there's some games or rides that are specific to it. I didn't get all the news on it, but more should be coming out about that. However, I'll be more excited when they decide that it's going to come to the Sony PlayStation VR, because I don't have an Oculus.
We don't have a VR in the first place.
Yes, but if Galaxy's Edge VR came to PlayStation, I would buy the VR. Fair enough.
For a minute, I thought you were talking about the Millennium Falcon ride.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That's kind of...
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
Unfortunately, it's Honda.
I guess we'll find out when we get closer to the release date of this thing.
Next one is not.
Next one is a news bit about Fantasy Flight Games in regards to their X-Wing Miniatures game. They are going to be introducing solo rules for it.
Solo like by yourself, not like Han.
Right. So at this point, they have not released it. What they are doing is they're going through what they're calling an alpha test. So they're getting people to try it out and see how it works. And it'll be interesting to see what becomes of that. I mean, we used to play X-Wing quite a bit, and maybe when the stores start opening up again, will that will be nice to get back into.
I don't see this playing by yourself.
I don't either.
It's a lot of fun with other people, but
yeah, because like we were saying last week in Outer Rim, there's a solo version, but
I was going to play it again.
But I don't know. I
didn't.
Seems like playing by yourself. I mean, what? Might as well.
Yeah, when you have someone to play with, there's no reason to, because there's groups that play it. There are groups that play it out in the world. And I don't see
there's like tournaments.
But, yeah.
So I mean, you might as well just play a video game if you're going to play by yourself. So we'll be looking forward to seeing what happens with that. The next piece of news that I came across was Claudia Gray, who is a author of various Star Wars books such as Lost Stars, Master and Apprentice, and what's the other one that she wrote? Oh my gosh, Bloodlines. She did an interview in which, during the interview, she announced that she is possibly writing a sequel to Lost Stars, which I am all for. I liked that book. I read it. And in fact,
I just started reading it yesterday. I'm a good chunk in.
So we started talking about like future episodes, and I thought, why don't we start talking about some books? And Lost Stars was one of the first ones I thought of. So when I read it, I borrowed it from the library because we used to go to the library back when it was open.
Stuff existed.
Yeah, back when life existed.
Back when life wasn't canceled.
Yes, but so anyway, I was like, you need to read this, so I just went ahead and bought it and came in yesterday, and
I'm actually pretty far in.
That's good. So we'll be doing an episode on that. That'll be good to see.
Ooh.
More news in regards to Disney Plus Star Wars live action adventures.
Stuff.
There was a report earlier this week that there is a casting call out for a live-action version of Mr. Ezra Bridger. So I, for one, am very excited about that. The idea that they're going to pick up his story where it left off with the final episode of Rebels. I'm looking forward to seeing that. The casting call mentions... I don't know what that was.
I mean, neither.
The casting call mentions that they are actually looking for somebody a little older, like in their 30s, and they're looking for someone, if I remember the report correctly, because as always, I'm so prepared and I don't have the article in front of me. If I remember correctly, they are looking for someone who, basically they're hoping to get somebody of Asian descent. But they are looking at other types as well. But that one would kind of make sense to me if they got somebody of Asian descent. But no matter who they get, I'm really excited to see Ezra in a live action setting. I'm really looking forward to seeing more of his story and to see what he's been up to. What do you think of it?
I can see that. I haven't finished the show, so as far as I know, he just always was there. So I don't know what you mean by picking up where it left off.
So when you get to season 4 and finish that, you'll know what I'm talking about. Anyway, coming on the heels of that announcement, there is also, at this point, I think it's in the rumor stage still, but there are possible rumors that there is going to be a live-action Thrawn.
Yeah, of course.
Which, if you have seen Season 4 of Rebels,
I've seen that.
You will know that Thrawn is closely tied to Ezra Bridger. So it would only make sense that whatever show they're doing that will feature Ezra Bridger will also feature Grand Admiral Thrawn.
You like Thrawn.
I do like Grand Admiral Thrawn. I've liked him ever since the Thrawn trilogy, as it was called, Heir to the Empire. Back in Legends. And when they reintroduced him into canon with the show Rebels, I was very excited. I like the idea of Thrawn in a live action setting, mostly because I like. I like Thrawn, but I'm mostly interested in a live action Thrawn because I want to see him and Ezra. I want to know about that story. Like, where did that go? I can't say, to be honest, that I'm as excited to see a live-action Thrawn as I am to see a live-action Ezra. I'm just not sure that a TV series... It doesn't seem to me like the TV series will get a character like that right. I don't know.
Who, Thrawn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're really going to have to do some good casting. You really have to have a good actor playing that, because you ruin Thrawn in live action, you've probably ruined Thrawn for millions of people.
Jim Carrey.
Oh my lord.
I would have preferred them bring Starkiller out of Legends, but whatever. I'm not salty.
That would be interesting. Next piece of news, there are going to be some new Star Wars Funko Pops.
Hey, one of them has to do with Force
being released. Yes, one of them does have to do with Force Unleashed. It is not, however, Starkiller.
Yeah. Can't even do that right. I'm not salty.
Yeah, well, they've got to stay canon, and they don't want to come out and say that, yes, he is canon.
Bull.
Oh, geez. Okay. So, yeah, so they're doing, they are doing a character from Force Unleashed,
really
but it is that's true.
It is Shadow Trooper.
Right. So it's basically it looks kind of like a Death Trooper,
but blue.
But with blue eyes.
With a blue tone. I don't know, undertones kind of.
Yeah. It's.
You also another one is Yoda with a hood,
and that comes from Battlefront.
And then not Darth Revan, just Revan and Darth Malak from Knights of the Old Republic, Coder.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be Revan? No, because it turns out that you played Revan. Oh, spoilers.
Yeah, spoiler alert, if you haven't played Knights of the Old Republic, your character Revan. Is Revan, yeah.
Which I think is baloney, because he spoiled it to me as I started playing the game.
But looking at this Funko Pop, it does look like it is Darth Revan.
He's also wearing a hood.
Yeah.
I don't know why I need to point that out.
I think they did a good job of Darth Malak.
He looks like Vader without his helmet on.
Kind of does, yeah. I see that.
That's not even me. That's not even me being stupid. It literally looks like that.
So for all you Funko fans, yeah, that'll be interesting.
Fun times.
So this next piece of news I want to announce actually has nothing to do with Star Wars. Oddly enough, I just wanted to announce it on the show with Joey here with me. Paramount Pictures has confirmed that they are developing a sequel to Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes.
Production has not yet begun.
That's weird. This is also what the show is. It's Sonic.
That was actually the reaction I was thinking.
I just explanation. I really like the Sonic the Hedgehog movie, like disproportionately. So I'm gonna go see that. I'm very excited for that movie to a point where my dad thinks I'm weird.
Yeah, I wasn't such a big fan of that movie.
So good. How can you not like...
Okay, this is not a Sonic the Hedgehog show.
It is now.
In any case, production has not yet begun, but there is a tentative release date of July 2022.
So I'll be 18.
And from what I've read, the three main actors will be back for it. Jim Carrey, James...
Ben Schwartz.
Yeah, the dude that played Cyclops in the X-Men movies.
Wait, what?
I don't remember his name.
Ben Schwartz is Sonic.
Oh, right.
Donut Lord.
Yeah, it's James something.
James.
But yeah, Ben Schwartz will be doing the voice of Sonic again. And then, as far as we know, I mean, nothing's been confirmed other than the fact that they are developing a sequel to it.
There's lots of theories on the internet.
I'm sure there are.
Welcome to Sonic the Hedgehog podcast, everyone.
Absolutely not.
You took time out of your Star Wars podcast to talk about Sonic.
That was for you. That was for you.
That's hilarious, and I don't know why.
Okay. Well, that is it for Star Wars news.
Or the HoloNet.
So yeah, the HoloNet, if that's what we're going to call it.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah. We're going to next talk about the book Scum and Villainy. But before we do that, I'm going to play another tune.
Please stop acting like... Never mind, you're just being stupid.
Okay. This song is called Stubborn Bones. It is by a band from Chicago. It's a bit of a punk rock supergroup, for lack of a better term. So they're from Chicago. They're called Airstream Futures. This song was on their most recent album. It was released February 27th on Little Rocket Records. The name of the album I'm going to butcher because I'm not French. It's Le Feu et le Sable. I should have had Jayla come in here and pronounce this for us.
No, I don't think anyone should.
But anyway, the literal translation of that is fire and sand.
Just call it fire and sand.
Well, they wanted to be different. So, this is Stubborn Bones by Airstream Futures.
Fall out, I'll never find you.
Welcome back to Rogue One Radio. This is episode 13. I am your host, Steve Long, joined by my son, Joey.
Hello.
And we just listened to Stubborn Bones by Airstream Futures. So we are on to our main topic of the episode. We are going to be talking about a book called Scum and Villainy, Case Files on the Galaxy's Most Notorious. This book was written by Pablo Hidalgo, who, if you know anything about Star Wars books, you know he is quite the prolific Star Wars writer with these type of books. And the illustrations were done by various artists. I'm not going to read them all off because there are a ton of them. It was published by Epic Inc. in 2018. So, general thoughts. Starting off, this was not what I thought it was going to be when I first saw the description for this book. I really thought it was going to be more in line with the other type of books that he's written. For instance, like the essential guides, the various essential guides he's written. So I really thought this was going to be more like the actual case files, like they'd have like one page about a certain scum and villain. So basically just kind of like a reference book is what I was imagining this would be. And it didn't turn out that way.
It did not.
This was more written in kind of story form. Somewhat. Kind of almost like an autobiography in some ways. Some ways. Like it had a biographical slant to it.
Yeah.
It was from the perspective, it was written from the perspective of the grandson of a Republic / Imperial law enforcement official. In fact, the grandfather of whom he speaks of is in the Clone Wars cartoons, and
Tan Devo.
Right. And so he's basically talking about people that he was after, investigations that were open and on whom, and doesn't really go. I mean, every few pages it talks about a specific person that these guys were after and talks a little bit about their background. So there are case files.
Yeah, it has. So here's just an example of a page. I just opened it up. On the top, there's a picture which it does not look like the Clone Wars show. It's like realistic.
Right, very realistic illustrations.
It shows a prisoner intake form of Reiko Hardin, which if you watched the show, technically it shows Obi-Wan Kenobi, who I will talk about later. And then at the bottom, it has a mix of Exantor Devo, the grandson of Tan Devo, talking about things that his grandfather talked about and evidence against him. And sometimes there's like excerpts of things that his grandfather said.
Right. So a lot of second person perspective, just kind of, that's what I mean by biographical slant to it. Yeah. He's talking about stuff that his grandfather had talked about. Now that being said, just because it wasn't what I expected doesn't mean I didn't like it. I did actually like this book, and for any of you folks that are fans of the Scum and Villainy aspect of Star Wars, this is definitely a book that I would suggest you pick up.
Yeah, I would. I like it.
Yeah.
And it's not just the Republic. It's split into 3 portions. The Empire is the biggest, so an example of everyone that's in it, or everyone that he talks about, there's not a lot in the New Republic stuff. No.
Right. So the first part is Old Republic, which is Tan Devo. The second part is
Tan's daughter Andressa Devo, and then that talks about a lot of stuff. Like it talks about Bosk, Zuckuss, and then
so that takes place during the Empire era, and then it gets into his own reflections in the New Republic era.
Yes,
and
it talks about a bunch of there's things in there that I didn't know existed. It talks about Dryden Voss for a little bit.
Yeah.
Afra. Hondo.
Wait, are you saying you don't know who Dryden Voss is?
No, a lot. I'm not. It's just these are examples of things that that are in there that I did or did not.
Okay.
I'm not saying I don't know who Dryden Voss is.
Okay.
That's the guy with the horns and the double lightsaber.
Wait, what?
So there's Dryden Voss, Afra, Hondo on multiple occasions, which really
as it should be.
Really saddened me. Poe Dameron makes an appearance. Bosk,
Cassian Andor and Jyn Erso are in there.
Saw Gerrera.
Correct. As it should be.
All kinds of stuff. Boba Fett, obviously. Ooh, no one cares. Yeah. I was very excited to see Afra was actually
Did you just say nobody cares about Boba Fett?
No. I was not expecting to see Afra in the book, actually.
It's been recorded. I think he did just say that.
No, I didn't. You can't prove it. You don't know what I look like, or...
So, yes, Dr. Afra was in there. Which
I was I don't know why, but I didn't expect her to be in there.
I did. Because she is scum. And a villain.
Okay, I call her a... I would call her a... That's for a different episode. I'm not going to go into my entire rant. You're not going to get me ranting.
So, the book was definitely well written. The illustrations are phenomenal. What I find interesting, specifically about the illustrations, is that with the amount of people that did the artwork for this book, it turned out very cohesive.
Yes.
Like, you would not imagine that it's several different artists on this.
Yeah.
So they all obviously were on the same page as to how they wanted this to look.
Yeah.
Because it's not, none of it is cartoony. It's all like...
No.
It's almost like paintings.
Yeah, it's very realistic. If I didn't know better, I would say that it was all the same artist, because the art styles are just that similar.
Yeah.
And it's not just people. There's objects in there. There's a set of Mandalorian armor that's very samurai-esque. I really appreciated that, but
yeah,
lots of stuff. Hondo's in there a bunch.
Of course.
Unfortunately.
One thing I just couldn't get over with is having watched the Clone Wars and seeing Tan Devo in it. He looks a lot more distinguished in this book than he does in the cartoon, because in Clone Wars he looks kind of goofy.
Everyone looks kind of goofy in the show.
You take that back.
I will not.
You shut your dirty mouth.
I will not.
So, but yeah, Tan Devo actually looks a lot more distinguished.
I wouldn't know.
And it kind of, you can take him more seriously. But yeah, really good book. Both from a fan of Scum and Villainy side, and also from a history nerd side as it pertains to Star Wars. Because there's a lot of history in this book that you may or may not have already known.
Yes. Lots of Clone Wars stuff.
Mostly, it is a history of galactic law enforcement.
Yeah.
So it's a different side.
It's a different perspective to the Star Wars universe, because we see the Jedi perspective and the Rebel perspective and the Resistance perspective. We don't see the actual law enforcement. We don't see the police inspectors. We don't see ISB, which is Andressa, and I don't remember what the third one is. I kind of skipped that portion because that bored me. I'm prepared.
So yeah, I appreciated that perspective. It's a
Yeah.
perspective you don't get to see commonly.
Very often,
So really, really good book. So again, definitely check it out. I bought it on Amazon. I'm sure you could buy it if there's any bookstores open in your area. Doubtful, but yeah. So definitely worth checking out. Did you have anything else that you wanted to say about the book in general?
I don't know. The art was really good. That's just me as an artist geeking out.
I can see that.
I liked that it wasn't just pictures of the person. I like that they actually did like wanted posters and like propaganda. It was really interesting. One thing that immediately I was just like, that it was like my shiny moment. Like, ooh, shiny. Is I was looking at like the prisoner intake form, and I noticed that they actually had the font, like the different alphabet in there. And I'm weird, and I like fonts and stuff, and that just immediately caught my fancy.
Yeah, some good attention to detail in these illustrations.
Yes, that only I.
So the cover, let me hand me the book. So the cover is pretty cool. It's got a picture of Jabba the Hutt and Aura Singh and Boba Fett and Infant's Nest. And this character here, I'm not.
He was one of the people from.
Who that is?
He's from the New Republic. He doesn't matter.
But and then
they put IG-88 on the back.
Yeah,
it looks like he's just like, guys, can I join in the picture? He's like, no, go over there.
Now, if you were to lay it like this,
it still looks.
He's
like
still out of the picture. It's like nobody cares about IG-88.
No, he asked to be in the family photo, and they were like, no, you're not. No.
Now, if this were a family photo, my question would be, why is Infant's Nest here?
Stop asking questions. It was a metaphor.
But it also a metaphor. What are you talking about?
I was being stupid.
So
I'm good at that.
The book also came in like a
weird clear case.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
I'm not sure what it's kind of. I guess it's plastic.
Yeah. Actually, if you slide it on.
Yeah, if you slide it in,
it actually puts the title on the book.
Yeah,
which is something that it does not immediately do.
Yeah, like the book just by itself, you don't. Well, if you're looking at the side, it does say Scum and Villainy,
but not on the actual book. You have to put the plastic case, or else it just says at the bottom case files on.
Yeah, I thought that was a little weird. You got to put the plastic case on for you to know that this is.
But it's cool. I mean, you can tell it's Star Wars if you have.
Well, yeah,
three brain cells.
If you have half a brain, know these characters.
You know him, and you know him, and then if you're really good, you know her, and nobody knows who he is. So screw him.
Yeah, I don't know who this guy is, but
I don't.
But then, if you're an IG-88 fan, you'd have no idea that he has anything to do with this, unless you look at the back.
That's what we're getting caught on.
But yeah, so this, I mean, the illustrations are really on point here.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta say, these right here.
The family portraits are what is.
They look like photographs.
Yeah, that's what's
really cool. They do not look like drawings, and they're pretty amazing. They're
pretty darn cool.
They're great.
Yeah, lots of attention to detail went into this.
Yeah, some really good stuff.
They thought about this before they did it.
Yeah.
Gosh dang it! You just turned to a page of Way to ruin the podcast.
My hat's off to Mr. Hidalgo on this, though. This is a great book, and I'm glad I bought it.
Yes.
So, again, if you're out there listening and you're a fan of Scum and Villainy aspect of Star Wars, definitely go pick this up. So that's it for our topic of the Scum and Villainy book. We are going to discuss some non-movie bounty hunters.
This was a hard episode.
Which was going to be our top 5 list for this episode. However, before we get into that, we're going to take a quick break. And we are going to play a song. This is called Always the Rebel. It actually is not about Star Wars.
It is.
It's not.
He's lying.
The band is from Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Winston-Salem?
Yes.
That sounds like a guy.
Okay. The band is Wolves and Wolves and Wolves and Wolves. And yes, I said that correctly. I don't have Tourette's. The song comes from the album The Cross and the Switchblade that was released in 2016 via Wiretap Records, one of my favorite record labels. This band, but really cool guys. We actually played a song by a kind of related. Their bass player is also the guitar player / singer for a band called Rough Dreams that we played a couple weeks back. But these are really good guys. One of the bands that I played in actually opened for this band a year or two ago. And they're really nice guys. Star Wars fans and also professional wrestling fans. But in any case, here is Always the Rebel by Wolves and Wolves and Wolves and Wolves. That was Always the Rebel by Wolves and Wolves and Wolves and Wolves.
Lots of wolves.
Lots of wolves. Okay, so our next segment, we are going to go over our top 5 list for the episode. And today's list is our top 5 non-movie bounty hunters. I wanted to make that very specific because otherwise it would just be...
It would be the exact same list, but... most of my list would be removed, actually, I think.
Pretty much.
I threw away that.
So these are characters that did not show up in any of the movies.
He was, he did make sure I didn't do Aura Singh, because you saw the back of her head in 3 seconds of Phantom Menace.
You saw more than the back of her head. You saw more than the back of her head.
Baloney.
Go watch it again.
No. I don't. No! Why would I willingly watch Phantom Menace? This isn't the discussion.
Why do you hate Star Wars?
Why do you hate Star Wars? Okay.
Okay.
Non-movie bounty hunters.
Oh, wait. Okay, so Aura Singh's not in it because of her inclusion in the Phantom Menace. So these are non-movie bounty hunters, which would include books, comic books, and the TV shows, and including the animated TV shows. So, launching us off, let's go ahead and hear your number 5, Joey.
Asajj Ventress. I put her in as a last-minute inclusion because my number 5 was going to be Aura Singh.
Okay. Good pick. A lot of people out there actually do not realize that she was a bounty hunter. They just know of her as the apprentice to Count Dooku.
You know, when she mattered.
But she was a bounty hunter. So I urge you to go check those episodes out in Clone Wars where she's a bounty hunter. It's really cool. My number 5 is from the Aftermath trilogy, and it is the Zabrak bounty hunter Jaz Amari.
It's pronounced Zabrak.
Whatever. So I don't think you've read the Aftermath books.
No, I have not.
But she is one of the main characters of the series that is part of the crew that the book series takes you through. She is the bounty hunter addition to this crew, who just happens to be working for the New Republic. And I really liked her. They like Chuck Wendig really developed her character well, I thought. And you really got a sense of her motivations. It really touched on her motivations as a bounty hunter, and why she was working with the New Republic. But I really did like her bounty hunter character. So that takes us to number 4.
Mine is Cad Bane. I say this not out of I like him, but out of he is a bounty hunter. He does his job. Because, like, I don't know. I don't like him as a character. He's a jerk. He's a D-bag.
I don't think you're supposed to like him.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
So as a bounty hunter,
he does what he's supposed to do.
He's a good character.
Jerk.
Well, most bounty hunters are. Most are jerks. Most.
Name one who isn't.
Name one who isn't. We'll get to that later.
We will.
My number 4 is from a comic book series. And his name as a bounty hunter is Kinnick's Kill, and he is actually, that is the alias for a former Imperial Guard by the name of Kur Kanos. He shows up as this Kinnick's Kill character in Crimson Empire 2 and 3, and also had a Kinnick's Kill one-shot comic book that I thought was good too. And Kur Kanos just generally is one of my favorite characters from Legends anyway, but I really did like his bounty hunter kind of iteration.
Yeah.
I liked him.
I only read the first Crimson Empire.
And he was never a bounty hunter in that one. He was just a guard.
Yeah. He killed a guy.
He killed
lots of
guys.
He killed lots of guys. He killed one of the main guys. He killed the Trandoshan guy.
In Crimson Empire?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean the Republic guy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
the Trandoshan guy.
Yeah. He also killed the main bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That takes us to number 3.
Black Chrysanthemum. I went over him in the last episode as Wookiee bounty hunter, and he's back because
you really liked Black Chrysanthemum.
I really like the Alpha Combo.
Yeah.
He's a good character, though. He's kind of funny, actually.
Yeah,
in certain ways, he is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nothing funnier than a
murderous
Wookiee tearing the arms off of people.
and the shins. There was a part where 000 was. Let's talk about this now.
He's got a very interesting relationship with Dr. Afro. Why not?
Only thing funnier than a murderous Wookiee is Darth Vader. Hilarious.
Not funny. Okay.
Hilarious. Okay.
My number 3 was on your list, and my number 3 is Cad Bane. I agree with everything you said. He is a jerk, but that's what makes him so great. Love his hats.
Oh, his hat is. Oh, yes. That's what I want. That's all I want in life is that hat.
That hat, yes.
That's the best hat. Remember when he was going to the cube?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he killed a guy and he took his hat.
Yes.
That was his only good moment.
No.
The only thing that made me like him is him killing a dude for a nice hat. I would do the same if I was.
He had some great story arcs. The one where he broke into the Jedi Temple, the Reiko Hardeen / Obi-Wan Kenobi.
We'll be talking about him in a second.
We will?
Yes, we will.
Okay. So yeah, that was my number 3. So now we come to number 2.
Reiko Hardeen. I only like him because he's Obi-Wan Kenobi. I cheated just because I could.
Okay.
But no, Obi-Wan was really good as a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
He did it very well.
Very good actor. He's stayed in character that whole time. I was very impressed.
Yeah. I actually thought that entire plan was going to crumble once Count Dooku showed up. I don't know why. Now
the real Reiko Hardeen, I would like to say he was a cool bounty hunter, but what they call him, the sniper of Concord Dawn. Yeah. But you didn't really get to see a whole lot about him. In fact, in that story arc, I remember thinking, at this point, it's like, well, that's the last time you ever see him because we never hear what happened to him.
I think we both know what happened to the real Reiko Hardeen.
I don't think the Jedi would have killed him. You think so? Okay.
He's
nodding his head, by the way. They can't hear you nod your head.
Yes, I'm nodding my head quite often. Yeah, no. But yeah, no, I'm pretty sure they killed him.
Yeah.
He tried to kill a Jedi. Technically, he succeeded, but
yeah,
that was another nod.
All right, my number 2 was also on your list, and it was Asajj Ventress. I got to be completely honest. I didn't like Asajj Ventress as Dooku's apprentice. Well, for what she was, yes, I liked what she did. I didn't like her personally, I guess is what you... Kind of like in the same way that you don't like Cad Bane. You just don't like him. But as a bounty hunter, I thought she was badass.
At least she mattered when she was Dooku's apprentice.
Well, if they would have done more with her as a bounty hunter, I think that would have been... I mean, I would even like to see that in live action. I'd like to see Asajj Ventress I would like to see Asajj Ventress team up with Jaws Amari, which would never happen, but I'd love to see that team up.
No.
No, I would like to see Asajj Ventress as a bounty hunter in live action. Heck, I'd even like to see it in comic book form. I just want to see. I just want to see that because we didn't get enough of it in Clone Wars. Yeah, I didn't think so. But I thought she was a really cool bounty hunter. Now, your number 1 and my number 1, I think, are identical.
We have the same number 1.
So it's
Batman.
What?
Batman.
He's
Batman.
He's not in Star Wars. And he's not a bounty hunter. No.
We're
talking about Din Djarin.
The Mandalorian. Din Djarin. Not Din Djarin. It's
close
Din
enough.
Djarin. It's the Mandalorian.
Yes. Amazing bounty hunter.
He was so good.
He's,
so
yes.
good.
Just good
because
does not
here's the
give
thing.
him justice.
Here's the thing. I was thinking about this, and I almost put him lower than number 1, And then I looked down my list, and I realized that in the first episode, we see him as, okay, he's basically Boba Fett. He gives no craps, he just takes the bounty. Then you get to IG-11, about to shoot Baby Yoda. And that's where his...
Spoilers, man!
Spoiler alert. He kills IG-11. He comes back later. He actually takes him out. That's not a thing bounty hunters are allowed to do.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to stop another bounty hunter from getting their quarry. And then through the entire rest of the show, he
does what he wants to do, because if you've seen the show, you know that he violates guild protocol on more than one occasion.
Like every episode, he's just like, "Oh, protocol, ha ha ha." No.
But not just that. This is a bounty hunter that they have gone to great lengths to show you that he does have a soul.
Yeah, you don't see that in the movies. You don't see that with Boba Fett. In the TV show, you get a lot of whining. But you don't really get that.
What TV show?
Clone Wars. I'm talking about Boba Fett.
Oh, well,
yeah, you don't see that with Boba Fett. You get a lot of whining, and you get, I'm falling into the Sarlacc pit. But no, he actually has a soul. He actually, he meets up with his old, the episode where he meets up with his old crew. I really like that because these people that he used to consort with are evil. They are evil. That's
Scum and Villainy.
Messed up. Bad. They are bad. Yeah. Aren't two of them Devorians?
One of them is.
I thought the brother and the sister were Devorians.
They're Twi'leks. Twi'leks. How do you pronounce that?
They are? Oh, they are.
Yeah.
They're still evil.
Yeah.
Totally forgot what I was talking about there for a second because I didn't watch that episode too closely. But no, one of them is a Devorian, which, if you don't know what a Devorian is, they actually look like the devil. Literally devil horns. They are called Devorians, which sounds a lot like devil. just making sure everyone's clear on that. They are bad. Yeah. And then you go through and you know that Mando I refuse to call him Din Djarin. He's Mando. He used to hang out with these people, and then he comes back with a soul, and they are audibly confused. Yeah. As how he is no longer the Mando they knew.
So he's a good guy, even though he's a bounty hunter. The backstory that they have started giving him is really good. Yeah. His gear is amazing. Starting off with his ship. His ship is awesome. I love that ship.
I'm not a huge fan of this ship.
I love that ship.
It's an okay ship.
I love that ship.
It's a ship. Calm down, man.
Those that ammunition he uses to basically disintegrate people is amazing.
The gun?
Yeah,
the gun, sniper rifle.
The gun, yeah, where he made all those Jawas disappear.
Yeah, the rocket.
The
whistling bird.
Whistling birds. That's right. Those
are
really
cool.
Thingies.
That's the actual scientific term.
His armor is on point. Yeah, everything about this character is great. Really looking forward to this next season.
Yeah. He's excited to see the shirtless Gamorrean. Look it up.
Yeah, look up naked Gamorrean.
Wait, don't.
Well, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
It was Dave Filoni that posted it?
Yeah, I think it was Jon Favreau.
Go look through Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau's Twitters. I'm sure you'll find naked Gamorrean. That was a weird sentence.
I don't know why you... I mean, they don't show anything. It's just...
Yeah, no, he's shirtless.
Yeah.
It's not like he's not muscular.
So I don't know what he has to do with the show, but
I think they were just showing off their new face. They just have that.
I think they were just that was one of the first things that came out to say, we're doing a season 2. Obviously you're doing a season 2.
Oh no, if they hadn't done a season 2, there would have been outrage in the streets. The world would have ended if no one got season 2 of the Baby Yoda show.
So I asked earlier in the week. I went out on Twitter and Facebook and asked who other folks' favorite non-movie bounty hunters were. I did get 2 responses.
Whoa, two whole responses. That's more than one.
Yeah.
But less than 3.
So the first one I got was from at NerdHerder on Twitter.
Go follow them.
His favorite was Imbo. So do you remember who Imbo is?
He's the guy with the cool hat.
Yeah, another guy with a cool hat, yeah.
I'm surprised. I'd rather have him, because he has like a sombrero.
Yeah, it's like a metal sombrero he uses as a weapon.
He does?
Yes. He's pretty amazing.
He uses that as a weapon?
I think he probably would have been in my list had they shown him more.
If I knew he would have had a metal sombrero, he would have knocked everyone down.
Yeah, he was pretty cool.
I want a metal sombrero.
I do enjoy that character when you do get to see him.
Yeah.
But he's only in 2 story arcs that I remember. If I'm wrong, please call me out on that, folks. The only 2 that I remember him in is the Reiko Hardin deal when they're all in the box.
Yeah.
So he's in there, and then he's also in the story arc where Anakin and Obi-Wan and Ahsoka. Actually, I don't remember who all was in there. I need to watch it again. It's the one where they go to Felucia, and they are protecting this farm against Hondo, of all people.
Because Hondo is also evil.
He's not evil.
He's not Devorian. He's worse.
But anyway, Imbo is one of the bounty hunters that's already there at the farm that was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that when he used the metal sombrero?
Yeah, he used.
I want a metal sombrero.
Yeah. So that was NerdHerder. The other response I got was from the folks at Pizza and Parsecs.
Go follow them too.
Yes. And their favorite was also on our list, and that was Asajj Ventress. So, yeah. So those are our favorite non-movie bounty hunters. And if you'd still like to chime in about who your favorites are, just shoot us a message or tweet us or put it, Facebook and all that stuff. Speaking of which, if you do want to follow us on social media, we are at Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and just search at Rogue #1 Radio. So that is it for today. For this episode, we are going to, as always, we like to close the show out with some shout outs and then some music. I don't have any podcast shout-outs this week, but I do have some individual shout-outs that I would like to announce. Shout-out goes to Michelle and Natalie. They are from the Force of Light Entertainment podcast. They've been supportive of our show here. Another really big supporter of our podcast is on Twitter as Rural Farm Boy. So, great shout out goes to him. Another podcaster that has been very helpful during our run is Albert from the Cantina Cast. Also, I want to shout out Laura and Alice from Force Toast Podcast. A couple of great girls that have been very helpful with suggestions. And then the Future of the Force crew I want to give a shout out to. Phil, Annalil, Megan, Melissa, Caitlin, Darcy, Katarina, Carl. If I'm missing anybody, I'm sorry. But everyone else out there that is working on getting everybody the latest Star Wars news. Really appreciate the work over there.
Also, I'd like to shout out my friend Beck. He loves Star Wars, and I'm doing this so that he can text me and tell me he actually listened. I demand proof, Beck. Okay, let's go.
Okay, well, there was that. All right, so I hope you enjoyed our episode 13 of Rogue One Radio. I am your host, Steve, and I am joined by my son, Joey.
Hello.
And that is it for us. I don't know what we're going to do on our next episode. We'll have to talk about it. Be sure to we'll be sure to make some announcements on social media and get you all prepared for what you're going to listen to. But anyway, that is it for us, and I'm going to close the show out with another local Oklahoma City band called the Costanzas. This song came from an EP they put out in 2015 called Bad Habits. And the song is Plan 9 from Outer Space. So goodbye, folks. Hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you next time.
See you later.